The Urban Renewal Act, which is expected to be tabled in the current parliamentary session, has been touted as an initiative for the government to redevelop old strata housing. Nischal Muniandy from Ideas discusses what the proposed act entails and the impact it will have on the growth of our cities.
It will lower the current consent threshold that is currently being enforced on strata title properties. Because according to the Strata Titles Act 1985, right now, if there's any redevelopment of strata title properties, it needs a 100% consent from the owners, which is the phrase they use in the Act is unanimous resolution. So that means that if there are 1,000 owners on that development, if one owner objects or if one owner is not contactable, that means that the development or redevelopment cannot proceed. What the Urban Renewal Act, the URA, will do is that it will lower this from the current 100% down to something around 75 to 85%. This depends on factors like the age of the building and if the building is inhabitable and is safe for human habitation. This will put us on par with regional peers like Singapore, where it is 80 to 90%. And it will make it easier for the redevelopment of existing sites within the city itself for things like new development or for abandoned or derelict buildings to be reused or repurposed instead of them lying abandoned and empty. So the main concerns on the URA will be that ensuring that communities are able to stay together, and this will especially impact older folks, those who are living in older developments, because we want to maintain that sense of community, and to ensure that residents get a full picture on what redevelopment would entail. So this would mean them knowing what the redevelopment will be, what's the compensation that they will receive, and if they would incur any additional costs on items like maintenance.
Despite concerns about coercion and gentrification in the drafting of the Act, the government has assured that the process will be fair and transparent. Nischal explains why redeveloping the urban core and inner city residential areas is crucial for sustainable growth.
Right now, we're seeing a lot of new sprawling suburban development in places like Cyberjaya, in Semenyih, and some stretching all the way now to Tanjung Malim in the border with Perak. And what happens is that people live a lot further away from where they work, and that takes a toll, especially when you commute in. I'm sure you know there are a lot of people who, when they commute in, they take 1 or 2 hours just to get to their jobs. It's not exactly very sustainable. One, on the environmental perspective, because when you build a lot of new suburban housing on the edges of our metro areas, that means you have to cut down a lot of forest areas. Another thing that it's also more financially sustainable to redevelop the inner city or existing urban areas, because with more dense development, more dense housing, 1 kilometer of road, power, water, fiber optic cables reaches more residents compared to, let's say, that same kilometer in a low dense suburban area. So from an environmental and a financial perspective, it is a lot more sustainable to redevelop both the urban core and inner city or inner suburban areas compared to continuing to sprawl out.